What a wonderful full moon. Wasn't it in the year 432 BC that the Babylonians came up with the innovative concept of the lunar calendar and decided that it would originate with a full moon? What have I done? Hold on, my good man.
It's my foot. I can't move it.
Now then, Henry, try to shift your right leg. Take your time now, nice and slow if you must.
I can't do it.
Both his right leg and arm are paralyzed.
What? That's horrible. We must take him to a proper hospital. He needs care and treatment.
Think we should?
Huh?
Wouldn't an incident like this cause you a lot of trouble if it were made known to the public?
Well, yes, that's true, but...
I'm his doctor as well as his friend. I'll do my best to help him out. Let me see to it, Mr. Bennington. You've been through enough.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. That's awfully kind of you, Dr. Gallad. Mr. Travis, I can't tell you how sorry I am for what's happened.
I know.
I'll do whatever I can for you. I give you my word. Please tell me if there's anything you want from me.
Henry, I do think you should get some rest.
Oh, my, yes, of course. I'll come by tomorrow, Mr. Travis, to see how you're getting along.
Well, Henry, your muscles deserve a break, so why don't we loosen them up? With this physostigmine. To your amazing recovery. You sure are a top-class faker, mate. You're even able to decide if it's necessary to break your bones. I suppose you thought it best not to this time. You didn't break anything at all.
Yes.
Well, this target certainly seems easy enough to handle, right? We could get a fortune out of him.
Don't be so hasty. We collect our money by keeping the accidents low profile, so when we disappear, we don't leave any evidence behind. Some fakers draw from the insurance and create a paper trail. They're second-rate. Wait, no. They're third-rate.
This target teaches at Lambeth College and is a strong candidate for Chancellor. Reputation is very important to him now.
That's right. People who are unsure of themselves tend to worry about their reputations. Not that I'm complaining, because it gives us plenty of opportunities.
So, Newton had been attending Cambridge, but was forced to return to his hometown in 1665 because of the plague. And it was during this time when he came up with the theory of the law of gravity. In effect, Newton's law could be looked upon as a bittersweet fruit of the plague. Right then, that's all for today.
Professor Bennington?
Yes, what is it?
I found in my studies that the plague also led to the creation of statistics.
Yes, it all began when they recorded the extraordinary numbers of people in London who were dying off.
Well, Professor Bennington, there's been some talk about you. You bought the 180-volume lanyard collection on the history of iron production.
Yes, but that might have only added more fuel to this unmitigated nightmare. 4 years have gone by since you left the college, right?
Yes, I see your lectures are still popular with the students.
But if fate smiles favorably upon me, my life won't be restricted simply to academia and giving lectures.
No way, really? So you're running for Chancellor?
The incumbent Chancellor is preparing to retire. I know I don't have the qualities for such a position, but there are people here who've insisted that I run.
I'm curious, who's going to be your competition?
I'm up against Professor William Stefan, the head of the economics department.
You'll be competing with someone like him for the position?
Yes. Oh, time for discretion. Here he comes now.
I see.
Well, hello, Professor Bennington. And who might your guest be?
Nice seeing you again, Professor Stefan. It's been a while.
What a marvelous surprise indeed. How are you, Mr. Keaton? Tell me, I may be mistaken, but weren't we recently looking for a temporary instructor? Wasn't us.
He didn't come all this way for a job. If you really must know, he dropped by here specifically to pay me a visit.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Keaton, a pleasure. If you encounter any problems while you're here, please come and see me. Excuse us.
The son-in-law of the Chancellor as your competition. That's tough.
Yes, but the Chancellor is a great academic. He won't stoop to favoritism because of family connections.
You're right, the man has a lot of integrity. After all, he's the one who built the school's reputation.
Right, that's mainly the reason why I decided to embark on the challenge for his position, to carry on that spirit. I have a true passion for this school, all of its traditions, the majestic campus, and the enthusiastic students. But Professor Stefan has plans of his own. If he becomes Chancellor, he'll sell off the grounds and move the school to the suburbs. The real estate firm that wants this place has set up a large fund for him. He's trying to buy off the senior faculty with that money. When the younger professors found out, they decided that I would be the best choice to run against him for the position. To be quite honest, I don't have what it takes.
Doesn't the Chancellor know about this little scheme? If you bring it up with him, I expect nothing would stand in the way of your being elected.
It's difficult to find any proof, you see. Besides, I have a deal with the professors who nominated me. I would only agree to enter the race on the condition that I compete fair and square. But now it has become more than a simple matter of running. I've botched it up by seriously injuring someone. I know I'm actually the one who's supposed to look after you, but unfortunately I have business that I simply can't ignore. So Mr. Keaton has graciously offered to take my place and give you a hand.
Hello, I'm Taichi Keaton. So how bad are his injuries?
I had an x-ray done on his neck. As you can see, a portion of this bone over here is slightly crooked. It's causing some pressure on the nerves and blocking signals from the brain. As I see it, it may well take months, 3, maybe more, for a full recovery.
Oh, what will I do?
What's the matter, Mr. Travis?
You see, I'm an importer. I specialize in the used car business. I was closing a big deal before the accident, but with the situation I'm in, I'll have to cancel it, even though I was planning to pay all my debts in one fell swoop.
Oh, but I insist. Please, allow me to pay this debt off for you. How much exactly?
I need £50,000 per month's end or I'm through.
For £50,000? Well, must it be paid all at once? How about installments, then?
What is this? He can't even come up with a measly 50k. You said we could expect to squeeze at least £100,000 from him.
Just settle down. What source did you use to get this information?
Yeah, well, I did my research into his assets, and the figure I gave you was accurate. That is, up until 3 days ago.
Meaning?
I don't know what he was thinking, but 3 days ago he took out a second mortgage on his house to buy books worth £500,000.
£500,000?
Wouldn't pay that much myself, but I'm not much of a bookworm.
This isn't going to work out at all. Let's just threaten him and take what money we can get.
That's a third-rate way of thinking. If that professor's smart enough to run to the police, he'll put us out of business forever. Besides, books that valuable won't likely remain his personal property. I'll bet he's planning to pay for them with funds from the college after he gets the Chancellor's position. And this business has all come down to the election. Webb, find out any pertinent information on the candidates.
Right.
Hello, Professor Bennington. I thought you should... Is something wrong, sir?
I may love this campus, but perhaps I'll really have to say farewell to it.
Huh?
The professors who were on my side had a change of heart and have now officially switched over to Stefan's camp. I suppose I'm fighting a lost cause.
70% of the faculty are on our side. It seems your time has finally come, Professor Stefan. Consider the job yours.
Well, you can never be too sure. Now then, if we can just get a scandal on Professor Bennington, we just might finish him off.
Oh, Mr. Keaton, glad you came.
You look a little better. How are you doing today?
As well as can be expected.
These things take time. It's best not to rush it.
Cheers, mate, for everything.
It's nothing. I'm happy to help one of my favorite professors.
Say, speaking of which, how's the campaign coming along for Professor Bennington?
Well, he's a great academic, but when it comes to his campaigning skills...
Oh, I see. It takes more than being a fine professor to win the chancellorship, eh? Now, would you care for a spot of tea?
Oh, let me do that for you.
No, let me pour you a cup. It's good for my rehabilitation. Here you are, then.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Are you all right?
It's fine.
Couldn't you report the accident to the police?
I'm afraid I haven't any idea what you're talking about.
I heard the news from Bennington's housekeeper. She said you were hit by his car.
Afraid you got it wrong. I just fell down the stairs. Dr. Galad can back me up because he knows all about it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Humble people who are tempted by greed. Be sure to give us a ring, won't you, if you change your mind?
Well, it looks like you got acquainted with the target's competitor. I figure the bloke got his degree from the black market because he's much too cunning to be a professor.
Oh, yes, he could be a corporate CEO. One lesson he's learned is that the world revolves around money.
He just threw down a wad of bills, and I'd say there was at least £4,000 there. We should have taken it.
Try to see things in the long term. A police report means hard evidence. That is not for first-rate fakers.
Listen to reason.
Well, let's go see Professor Bennington in his natural habitat.
What?
What are they doing there?
It looks like some students stopped him and he's giving an informal lecture now.
Not a single care in the world.
So here is the differential equation that Euler discovered. It goes like this.
Professor?
Professor, you all right?
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to run into you.
I'm fine. It was nothing. Are you sure your back's all right?
Oh, bother. He's a kitten compared to that man who stopped by.
He doesn't have what it takes for the Chancellorship.
We have to guarantee that he gets elected. Time to pull out all the stops. The first stage in our strategy is to have you write a letter for us, Webb.
A letter? Who's it going to?
To the Chancellor, my friend.
Come in, it's open.
Is there something you want to see me about, Father?
William, Professor Stefan, it's been brought to my attention that a certain party is accusing you of corrupt practices and bribery.
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
I have this letter from someone who's provided details. See for yourself.
This is a complete fabrication, of course. You're not going to believe this slanderous letter over me, are you?
Professor Stefan, trust me, I really do want to believe you, but there have been too many rumors and now these charges.
What? Are you sure you heard correctly?
It's true. The Chancellor himself said he's going to endorse me at the meeting tomorrow.
What fantastic news, Professor. You realize that's going to be a huge advantage.
Yes, I know, but... The Chancellor explained it was because of some anonymous letter containing accusations of improper conduct. My only stipulation was that I compete with Stefan in a fair fight.
A letter, huh? Yes, I see.
Do you by chance know anything about it?
No, sir.
Professor Bennington here? Huh?
There you have it. This correspondence will surely mean Bennington wins the election.
Though I really can't bring myself to say this is first-rate work.
As you know, there are times when it simply can't be helped.
There's big trouble. I heard the Chancellor has collapsed.
What's all this, then?
The bloke went and had a heart attack, and now he's unconscious in hospital.
Oh, damn incredibly bad timing. What shall we do now, Henry?
Don't you think this is too much of a coincidence?
Huh?
That Stefan may be quite clever, even more than we'd imagined.
The doctor examined him thoroughly and has ordered complete bed rest. I'm awfully sorry for my rudeness, but I will have to ask you people to leave now.
Is he all right? Is the Chancellor going to survive this ordeal?
Well, I'm afraid he's still unconscious.
I heard he had a heart condition, but he collapsed from a stroke without warning?
That's right. It would appear that he had taken his usual medication. And then I found him there on the floor.
Over here? Huh? A strange odor. Doesn't smell like the nitroglycerin used to prevent heart attacks.
Just what are you saying? Stefan! Damn you! You switched medication, man!
What do you think you're doing?
You can't fool me! Look at this capsule!
What exactly are you getting at? What does that pill have to do with me?
Think you're clever?
Professor! Please! Sir!
Well, do you have any physical proof that I did this? I can't believe a sensible professor like you would behave like this. Father will be off his feet for some time. Ah, the Chancellorship. Nothing will stop it from being mine. Well, of all the horrible luck, and at such a sensitive time.
This time you've broken a bone for real.
Huh?
I guess your line of work will be difficult to carry out now, after going public with such a big accident.
How could you have possibly figured out our operation?
Do you remember when I spilled tea on your hand that was supposedly paralyzed? It should have had a physical reaction to the hot water. Even if your limbs were numb, the involuntary muscles would have had a spasm.
If you knew, why didn't you say something? Are you planning to alert the authorities then?
Oh no, we owe you one for this. Thanks to you, Professor Bennington was chosen to be the new Chancellor.
Well, of course he was. We even violated our policy of only doing a first-rate job. There I was, breaking my bones in front of witnesses. I was actually planning to extort money from that poor professor after he got settled into his job, but oh well. I'll stick with Professor Stefan and squeeze him for all he's worth. We've got the goods on him, so we're sure to collect. I don't mind waiting 10 or 20 years for the bill to be paid in full. Till he's got nothing left.
And so, as you can plainly see, this provided proof that Newton was correct. Is everything clear?
Yes, certainly.
Of course.
Thank you very much for the lesson, Chancellor.
Hope you have a marvellous day, sir.
You as well.
疲れ切っても声も出ないほど自分を切り裂くことはないよあなたは今ないため息こぼす僕に何も言えない君音のないテレビを見つめて坂道登ることに迷いなど感じない時が過ぎる限り僕らは強くなれる
Expectations. Yuriko runs into an old school friend, and Keaton is called upon to track down the pair, who've taken off for an adventure on the wilderness trails. Pressures at home and school have made a young man determined to free his father's caged hawk. But once the bird soars, the boy plans to do something chilling. Next time, Into the Vast Sky.